I am literally on a crazy 10 trade win streak currently using my setup for life that you guys should all learn. And in today's video, I'm going to go over these two trades that I utilized with my stop hunter setup, plus a few other things to cash and get on this such a big win streak here. Without further, let's get straight into it. So these two trades were taken on NQ. Okay, this one was taken during New York session. So yeah, I do have the indicator enabled. Just make sure. Yeah. Let me just lower the number there. But basically, yeah, this was during New York session here on this trade, and this trade was, I believe, after market closure, after market open. Sorry, after spread hour. Spread hour had this big opening wick candle, which I'll explain later. But anyway, I got on the charts, I believe, around this liquidity sweep here. I did miss this setup, unfortunately, to the upside. This is such an A plus setup here that I unfortunately missed, but we had clear target here at this point of New York session high. So we just go back in time here. All right. This is one of the potential setups you could have taken that I missed out on. We had this low that made this new high. We swept it. Again, I don't care if it closes below or wicks it. To me, that doesn't matter as long as it takes out the low. We had an OB entry model here that you could have taken to the high. I missed out on this entry model, unfortunately. So I was not able to take this. This is more risk reward than my trade. This is even better because you have such a better price point than buying higher. But I was able to get in my stop under setup. We have this low that made this new high. Again, these small little tiny pullbacks, I don't like them. Okay, I want to focus on bigger movements here. And yes, this is still considered internal structure, not internal swing structure or what's a better word? External structure. Again, external structure is this low to this high here, as in one move. Internal structure is like something like this. So that's what I was seeing for internal structure. This low swept. I entered on the candle closure of that low, and my stop loss was covering basically. I had to basically cover that low there. Enter here, and basically my target was just near session high because we're bullish. If you go to a higher time frame, we are clearly bullish, right? Stop looking to the left. I even made a video recently and posted it to course members on how I identify the left trend and right trend, what are good conditions to trade, what are bad conditions to trade, and we have, the trend on the right shifting in our favor of the left trend. You want to be trading just the right trend. You don't want to even be looking to the left, to be honest, for the most part, unless you're looking at very prevalent highs as your draw liquidity points. Then yeah, those are completely fine. But let's see, where was I? We took out this high here, and we continue making structure going higher. So I'm just following the trend. Like I said, follow the trend when the right is not going against the trend on the left. Now, I took this setup here, and another thing that was very clear to me as my draw liquidity is we saw a trend liquidity above here. This is all fully mitigated. It doesn't have to be perfect trend line liquidity or trend line. All I mean is basically it's all fully mitigated. This is fully mitigated too. This is the only PY that's unmitigated, but this supply failed, as you can see, right? Not only did we fail here, again, when we have supply zones that I draw out, you can wick above it, that's okay, or have candles above it. But if we fail entry models, like this entry model failed, this already failed. Oh, what's it? We had entry model fail here, and then we had nothing here. But regardless, point is we have already a failure here, so I wasn't really interested, and you wouldn't even be looking to short this anyway. Why? Because we already took out liquidity and we're bullish. So why try to short a bullish market? Trade with the trend, guys. So all this at this point, after this got mitigated here, you stopped your zone here. Everything is trend liquidity here. So I just targeted that high. Granted, the one thing I didn't realize until later was this is still late in the day, 2 p.m. In hindsight, or not hindsight, but in hindsight, yeah, I should have just TP'd at the high here for 2RR. But luckily I was able to juice out 3RR here, and got lucky with the volume, because volume could have just died out here and just done nothing for the rest of the day. But luckily we had enough volume to push towards my TP, and I was done for new session here, right? Again, set and forget type of trade. It was a really good setup, clear draw on liquidity, trading with the trend. I mean, there's not much else to set up here. So yeah, I took the 3R and I called it a session there. Now let's go on to the next trade. Even also explain this trade here for stop hunter. even if you miss this initial stop hunter setup, there was another setup here off this PY here. If you just set a limit order here, like I said, whenever we have small range like this, I don't mind you guys just setting limit orders, right? So very small range. Again, it's like 15 candles, not even here, 10 candle range. So very small range. The trend on the right here internally is bullish. Again, it's not really external, so I don't really consider that. But point is, you know, the small range, you can trade this easily with limit order and go higher. You even had another chance to enter here again. You can see how price is respecting these highs, right? We took out the high and we have a nice reaction. Also here, you could have got another entry here with limit order. So you could have easily just made 3 RR even if you missed my initial entry, and you would have hit your TP much quicker. Next, I was waiting for, obviously, boom, market open, okay? 6 p.m. EST. We have this candle here. We have the low and the high as the opening wick. I know I call it data wick here, but I'm being testing these out and using them similar to data wicks. But we have these targets here. Now, for me, I was looking for longs here. This is a very nuanced is probably not the right word, distinct stop hunter setup, because this low internally did make a new high here, but it didn't make the extreme high. With stop hunter, usually you want something like this where the low does make a new extreme high. There's a few times in price where it does something like this, where it does make a new high, this low, but it doesn't make this new high, if that makes sense. That's exactly what happened here. However, this high is very, how do I say this? It stands out, or is very special or unique, just because this is late opening wick. So I had a very clear draw here. I had a limit order set here, and I covered both lows here, just in case we did want to wick out this low just by a little bit or make equal lows. Again, NQ, equal lows, equal highs. They don't really occur too often. It's more of an ES thing. So if you're trading ES, definitely don't have your stop loss set at the exact low, you know? But I was entered a trade here, and target was just the opening wick, and I did not expect this to run crazy after. Obviously, like, how am I supposed to anticipate that? I would not have known. But yeah, I mean, it's the name of the game. Sometimes you just have to take like a champ, you know? How far did this run? I don't even know. 22 risk reward. Yeah, so it ran 22 risk reward. And I only got 4 R out of this. And keep in mind, this is insane volume. This is during ADA session, guys. Literally during ADA session, not even kill zone. This is pre-ADA session. And price already ran this much. Yes, this is not considered a big move compared to like New York session, but regardless, it's still a massive move for ADA session, right? So, you know, don't sleep on trading ADA session. If you know how to trade, you know how to trade. If you don't know how to trade, you cannot trade any session, regardless of like how good you are at trading. If you don't, regardless of how good you are at timing the market in terms of like trading only kill zones, if you don't know how to trade, you don't have an edge or strategy that works, it doesn't matter what time you're trading. You're going to lose regardless. Oh my goodness. I did not even look at this later. Wow. Okay, my entry literally ran 47 R. That's insane. Yeah, no, that's literally nuts. But I can't say, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. That's not part of trading. Trading is a game of probabilities. This easy could have taken out this high, went for the opening wick low here, and then went higher. So I don't mind my exit here. It is what it is. I think in terms of future improvements for my own trading, there's not much I can. So there's one thing that I could have used as confluence, which is we have a lot of gaps here on the 1 hour here on the left. So I could have potentially anticipated that we get a big internal move towards this 1 hour supply zone. But keep in mind that you try whenever the trend on the right is in favor with the trend on the left, there's no reason for you to really look to the left anymore, because your new trend on the right is in alignment with the left. So you know the trend or the PYs, highs or PYs on the left are not going to hold, right? Most likely you're not going to hold. So you can even just safely ignore them if you want, to be honest, unless you really are looking for a target. But almost always, if you're trading with the trend on the right and the trend on the right is in alignment with the trend on the left, your target is usually basically above that high. because you just never know. Sometimes we take out a high and then we go for a liquidity sweep and then we go higher. So if you do wait for a liquidity sweep though, like this, then you don't have to worry as much about, you know, your trade and stop loss for going higher, because there's no reason to sweep liquidity twice. It's very rare that we sweep liquidity twice. In this case, it's not 2 liquidity sweeps, by the way. This is a low on the right. Okay, we went back to 50% here. Again, if you don't understand what I'm talking about here, watch the latest course video I posted talking about trend on the left and the right, and how to mechanically identify when that is trend on the left versus right. But let's see. That's basically it I want to go over today. I'm sure there's other setups later, but luckily I was able to take some nice setups here. And I'm on a 10 trade win streak currently. So yeah, all the course members also have been doing amazing. I see a lot of P&L, a lot of testimonials from you guys. So I do appreciate you guys again leaving your reviews and ratings on my WAP website. I can send some screenshots here briefly for you guys just to show you guys. Again, if you're not in the free Discord server, make sure to join up, okay? Join the free Discord server. There's a lot of free training resources I have in there that I'm not charging you a single dime for. Free knowledge. There's a huge group of community of almost 1,000 traders now in the Discord. I ideally want to grow it to 10K by the end of this year, 2026. I do have very big goals for 2026. So I do hope you guys can, grow with me, grow with the channel, grow your own trading as well, grow your personal account, grow your fund accounts, grow your payouts. But here's some screenshots of just testimonials, a lot of them flooding recently from course members mentorship students. So again, do appreciate you guys for leaving reviews. If you guys want to check out the mentorship or the course, the link is down below to apply, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.